People think that the images are the images are who they are, rather than the one looking in the mirror. That's a major turning around, isn't it? No, you're the one looking in the mirror, not the image. And this is essentially what narcissism is. Narcissism is.
Yeah.
People go, "Oh, you're a narcissist." Everyone's a narcissism if they believe in their image. If they think the image in the mirror is them, they're a narcissist.
Yeah.
They might love it, they might hate it. It doesn't make any difference, because they've believed their image is themselves. And they've left themselves standing back, looking at this, focused on it, instead of stepping away from the mirror. Just step away from the mirror, step away from the image, and come back into yourself and go, "Oh my goodness, it's me. Oh, well, that's me. I thought it was that. No, this is me. Oh." And when you come back into you, it's so wonderful and grounded and real and solid, and you go, "What the heck did I think I was that image for? What on earth did I get into that for?" So that's all narcissism is falling in love with the image, or falling in hate with the image, doesn't matter.
Yeah. And authenticity as well, I suppose.